How old are you?
Do not say 17. Old enough.
Spoiler alert. The secret Georgie and Mandy's first marriage involvement of George Cooper Sr. actor Lance Barber after his death adds a poignancy to the Young Sheldon ending. Chuck Lorre and his writers decided that Young Sheldon should adhere to the Big Bang Theory's established canon, so CBS was forced to discontinue the show despite its popularity. This was true even if the program included story holes during its 7-year run. Still, the network and the creatives found a way to take advantage of the prequel's popularity by continuing the Coopers family's journey in Texas via Montana Jordan and Emily Osment's new program. Expect significant variations between the series, even though Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is essentially a continuation of Young Sheldon, picking up just a few months after Sheldon's move to California. First of all, being a multicam sitcom, it is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
It's a different format. This one's going to be multicam, something I've never done before.
Second, the narrative will begin to center on the McAllisters, who will essentially take the place of the Cooper family as the newest program is extended cast. Barber and the rest of the ensemble from the Big Bang Theory prequel will still appear in the new show. Regretfully, following the Young Sheldon finale, it is not that great.
I'm Georgie.
Mandy.
Welcome to Movie Spy. The Cooper's future was altered by George's death. Sheldon the younger was unable to prevent George's death. It is difficult to find satisfying finales, especially for very popular shows. The Young Sheldon finale presented a formidable challenge for Lorre and his staff, given the circumstances surrounding its termination.
She may not have understood me or the things I cared about.
The Big Bang Theory prequel had to conclude its 7-year run with just 14 episodes following the simultaneous Hollywood strikes of 2023, which was made more difficult by the types of themes it had to address. George's untimely death was perhaps the most challenging storyline to go through in the comedy drama's final season before it completely collapsed.
Your dad was always nice to me.
He liked you.
Even though the writers were well aware of how adored the character was, Young Sheldon attempted to postpone George's death, which occurred right before the conclusion. The Coopers were able to spend as much time as possible as a result. Regretfully, the tragedy had to occur because it could not be avoided. The loss of George had a profound impact on Sheldon and his family's future. They can never be finished again after the last family supper of the clan, where George and Mary announced their intention to migrate to the city, but there was not enough time in the Young Sheldon finale to go into that in depth. Lance Barber watches the live Thanksgiving filming of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. Even off-screen, it is a reunion of the Cooper family. With George's passing, it seems unlikely that Sheldon's family will appear entirely on TV evermore. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, however, gives the Coopers the opportunity to be together even after Young Sheldon ends, and that is just what will happen in its inaugural Thanksgiving episode special. A behind-the-scenes social media post by Annie Potts has announced that Mary, Missy, Meemaw, and Dale will celebrate the holiday with the McAllisters in the follow-up. However, as was disclosed in a different post, Barber was also present for the live studio filming, which is not depicted in the video. Due to his location, Sheldon will also not be appearing in the special Thanksgiving episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. While Mary, Meemaw, and Missy can readily visit Georgie and Mandy across town, the boy genius is currently in California for his postgraduate studies in the timeline, so it will require a specific story to bring him back to Texas. Still, the folks behind Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage are actively trying to find a way to incorporate Ian Armitage. It is only a matter of time until Sheldon shows up as a result. Regretfully, George cannot qualify for it. Barber is present, but George cannot attend Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage reunion. Barber Cannabidiol reprises George in real time. Barber's reunion with his on-screen family on the set of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is a wonderful sight. He kept hanging out with his former co-stars after Young Sheldon, but this is the first time he is being spotted back on a Big Bang Theory set with so many of the familiar faces from the previous seasons. Regretfully, it serves as a reminder of the constraints imposed by his character's passing in the cosmos. Barber is on set, but but he is unable to play the same character again. Young Sheldon was able to successfully retell the story of George's cheating scandal, but it was unable to avoid omitting his demise. Though there were suspicions that the prequel would take place in a different universe from the one in which the Big Bang Theory existed, Lorre chose to adhere to the canon that had already been established. This would have fit in with the idea of the original program. It was heartbreaking to see the Cooper family united in the Young Sheldon conclusion, especially after George's passing. Nevertheless, it is perhaps even more tragic to know that Barber is merely a watcher on Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage set. As was previously said, even though Armitage was not present that day, there are still a ton of ways to have Sheldon return. Barber, however, will still be unable to participate in the show as the Cooper patriarch, even if he is able to consistently attend the weekly filming of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. He will never be able to just return to the role of George on The Big Bang Theory going forward. Will Lance Barber ever again play George, following his early Sheldon death? In order to bring George back, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage needed to be inventive. Barber can play again in a few different ways, but the sitcom writers will need to think outside the box to make it work. The Big Bang Theory's treatment of Professor Proton, Arthur Jeffries' post-death function, offered one possibility for George to make an appearance in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. In addition, flashback scenes may be employed in the next series to maintain the Cooper patriarch's legacy inside the franchise. Having said that, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage cannot continue to play this ruse too often, or it will diminish George's passing. As depressing as it may seem, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage would be better served by concentrating on Will Sasso's Jim McAllister, George's substitute in the Big Bang Theory series. This will go a long resting as it may seem. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage would be better served by concentrating on Will Sasso's Jim McAllister, George's substitute in the Big Bang Theory series, way toward winning over young Sheldon's devoted Thanks, who adored Sheldon's father, to the new show. After then, Barber's appearance as George in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage can be saved for an extremely special occasion. Thanks for watching.